the importance of basing out English as the first and foremost subject. The reason being, we have something in common to share, learn, and also to grow. And that is how English becomes one world, one language, and the global power of English is a subject that we are discussing today. Generally, English is seen as a mode of opportunity in terms of getting placed or in terms of career or in terms of bagging the best job out there. Agreed. But if I see it on a global perspective, it does a lot more things than seeing English only as a language. Do you agree that English is beyond a language? Give me a thumbs up if you do so. The reason being, it promotes number one, global understanding. Number two, fosters global connections. Say, for example, the strongest communicators are the greatest leaders of all times. You name it, you have them. You can think about our own Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has been globally recognized irrespective of his language. The reason being, he was strong in terms of articulating his ideas and bringing it on the table in a simplistic way possible. And third point is opportunities. I would like to share with you all a personal story and a very touching story which happened in my life. And today I am because of that story. And I wouldn't feel ashamed to share this story because that day I felt ashamed, and today I hold my head high because of that very incident. It was in my 8th standard. My English teacher barged inside the classroom with a bundle of English answer papers. We were curious as students to know how much marks we have scored. This teacher distributed the answer sheets to everyone except me. I tried to gather all the courage, stood up and asked, "Ma'am, could you please give me my answer sheet?" Instantly, she got furious and she said, "Ruti, can you please spell the word awesome for me?" In a classroom of 35 odd students, I spelled OSSOME. That's it. I was done and dusted. Tears started rolling down from my eyes. My English teacher scolding me and very furious about the mistake that I made. I was feeling very ashamed in my class. I came back home lamenting, crying. I told my mother, "This is what happened." And she said, "This is the time you need to pick yourself up." And that very sentence reverberates even now in my mind. And that day I made a promise to myself that I am going to learn the language so very well that I am going to be really awesome. I'll tell you what the challenges are faced across the world. English is not at all a native language. We all are very comfortable in speaking our own local native language, but English is barely spoken. And that's the reason we face challenges across the world. Despite coming from a convent school, I did face challenges, not because of the language, but because of the culture that we have. But that did not stop me from learning the language, isn't it? Though you have less access to English language, though there is no compulsion on learning this as a major language, it is important because it is a global language and you need to hone your skills as an English speaker. That day, I decided I am going to be one of the strongest communicators in my school, and that day my journey began. Though my friends teased me initially, calling me names and tagging me awesome, I ensured I am going to give them back. Initial days of me learning, it had challenges, dear students. I had this fear of missing out when I saw my counterparts, my peers, my classmates speaking excellent language, very fluent, and because of their fluency, they got selected to almost all competitions and all the extempore competitions possible. And there I was sitting in the audience, just looking at them and thinking, when is it that I am going to be on that stage? When you don't know a particular language, especially English, there it is pretty obvious that you will have a very low self-esteem and thereby your confidence lowers. And because of this, what happens? You start becoming, withdrawal syndrome comes. You start getting inside that shell, a cocoon. You're not ready to break open and come out. This happens because when you see such competition and such competitive speakers out there, it is a common syndrome that happens. But let me tell you, you're not born as a great speaker, but you can always learn to be one. And that message that my mother told me stayed in my mind, and it even now does. Anything in world, if anybody is good at something, you can definitely learn that too. But don't forget the amount of time and effort that they put in honing that skill. I decided that English should not be a setback, but I come back. And this is how I came back. This is what I did to ensure that I come back with a bang. This is what I did. My top three daily rituals that I religiously and diligently followed was number one, I learned one new word every single day, and that became my vocabulary enhancement. Slow and steady. Number two, read to lead. I started putting into a habit of reading newspapers and good books that give me very good knowledge and something to speak. Only if you know English language is not going to help you, my dear friends. You need to read, you need to educate yourself, you need to have good amount of information because when you are asked to speak, you should have the ability to speak. And that ability comes only when you read and learn some information, isn't it? And number three, what I did was I did a technique called 3R technique: read, recall, represent. I would every day pick up some random topic from the newspaper. I would read it once, recall and run through what I understood in my mind, and I would stand in front of the mirror and I would recite everything that I understood and represented myself. This improved my articulation skills. Now, by following these three rituals, I am pretty sure you might have understood how I have transformed today to be a great speaker. Now, I told you the problem that I faced. Now, I told you how I overcame my problem. And now I'm going to tell you how honing my English language gave me opportunities. Number one, it boosted my self esteem and confidence, and I started attracting wonderful opportunities wherever I went, be it school, be it college, university, work, everywhere. Number two, I developed better communication skills. From day one to till today, those rituals helped me to communicate better. And number three, social connection. I never had a second thought when it was network with someone because I knew that my English communication was strong. So I never had to think twice. I could make very good friends irrespective of the country, caste, creed, language, nothing mattered, only English mattered. And followed by confidence. This is how I transformed because of the language. I became an international speaker, my improved career prospects, and also I became a sought after person to speak in many, many brilliant forums. My key message for you is always remember smooth sea never made great sailors. Nothing comes easy, right? You need to put your head, you need to give that time, you need to set a ritual, you need to have it because your habit is going to define your life in the future. Make a habit to learn English, be determined. Even if you skip a day or two, it's okay, but come back to your ritual, and that is what matters. So, my key takeaway is always have the attitude to learn. Number two, keep a target. Work on yourself and become 1% every single day. We are not asking you to become 100%. No. Every day, if you work 1%, by the end of 365 days, James Clear has beautifully told you become 37% better. How meaningful and profound, isn't it? And number three, sharEvery Global Foundation is an amazing platform to learn, participate, and polish your English speaking skills. You're not going to find any such platform wherein you have amazing coaches coming from all across the world just to teach you what they have learned in their life. You are improving in your knowledge, you're improving in your communication, in your confidence. So ensure you attend maximum classes possible through sharEvery. Nobody can stop you from becoming the best version. So when you truly work on yourself, life definitely rewards you with the best version. Do you know why? An action has always a reaction. There is no chance you're not going to get any result out of whatever you put in there. So it depends on how much you're going to put in and how much you're going to receive. So today, English is a language which has helped us to connect globally and to learn from each other. And take my story as a motivation and inspiration to ensure you begin your English learning journey through this platform, through the story, and from all of us. Thank you.